Welcome to the School for the Gifted, Mr. Angry Joe. I take it you've heard that the X-Men are recruiting.
Hell yes, Professor! I've always wanted to be an X-Man! I'd fit right in! My mutant powers just activated, and I'm more powerful than ever!
Excellent. We always welcome fellow mutants here. But the X-Men team is constantly tested, put in danger. Can you handle the responsibility?
I can handle anything they throw at me, Professor! I'm as good as anyone on the team! Cyclops? Pfft, Boy Scout! Wolverine? Wolverine's not the only one with adamantium, you know.
Confidence. That's good. But don't let it cloud your judgment. First, you need to pass the test, demonstrating your powers for us in the danger room.
No problem! Bring it on!
Okay, Joe. We are going to start it out on the lowest setting and progress from there. Are you ready?
Bring it on! Give me your best shot, bitches!
Unregistered mutant.
Ah! Okay, bub. Time to show you what I can really do. Ha ha! I'm invincible!
Oh dear.
As much as I love my nostalgic X-Men days, this is not my cartoon X-Men. Nope, these are the up-to-date comic book versions. In fact, Mike Carey, who wrote the X-Men Legacy comic, also wrote the storyline for this game. The X-Men have progressed quite a bit since the cartoon. How? Well, Xavier died and the school disbanded. So now the X-Men wander aimlessly, very few in number, to the other coast of the country, led by Cyclops and Emma Frost. Kinda depressing. And crappy.
It's time we remembered that we're one people, united by our shared humanity. Your genes don't decide your destiny. You do. We all do.
Thankfully though, throughout the game, all the X-Men that we know and love do show up.
Who are you?
Wait, I'm on your side.
That's so.
Dude, I swear.
They'll fight alongside you sometimes, and even fight against you.
I'm still the same sweet guy I always was. You're starting to irritate me.
Leave him alone!
What's she gonna do? Hit me with her diaper?
Now, X-Men Destiny starts off on a really bad foot. First off, it's single player. Seriously? An X-Men game? Who makes an X-Men game that's single player? X-Men are all about teamwork. I ran out to the store and bought the game without even looking at the back of the box because I assumed it was. It isn't. 3 characters to choose from in the game, and none of your friends can control them. It's single player. You should know better, Silicon Knights.
I know how you feel about it, Wolverine, but...
Now, despite itself, surprisingly, the game does boast some really impressive moments and set pieces. Mostly due to how badass Magneto is. Like when he moves an entire bridge, tears it apart, and throws it at a city. Gameplay in X-Men Destiny is your standard action beat-em-up with combo upgrades that we've seen in 100 generic games, especially movie license games. The spin here is that at certain points during the game, you are given a choice to create your own powers. This makes for great replayability. As you defeat enemies with light and heavy attacks, you unlock XP. Those XP can then be spent on new abilities and costumes. Another interesting thing is those costumes are based off of other X-Men. So if you equip a Juggernaut costume, you'll get bonuses that are related to the Juggernaut character, like knocking over and stunning people. Same for the X-Men powers. You can pick offensive, defensive powers. There's lots of costumes and X-Genes in the game because you have both the Brotherhood and the X-Men to choose from. This works really well, and it's unique enough to be fresh and interesting. It's one of the things the game gets right, and it's much better than a linear upgrade path that you see in most of these types of games. You can literally come up with hundreds, no thousands of different combination types. That's well done. Disappointingly, however, you're not going to be playing as your favorite X-Men characters.
I know how you feel.
You know nothing, little man.
Instead, the story centers around the next generation, New Mutants. Okay, fine. But instead of the smart and exciting ability to create your own X-Men avatar, shape your face, your body type, all that stuff, no. Instead, you're forced to choose between 3 cardboard stereotype cutouts.
You guys are idiots. It's a mutant rally, dude. Then I'll pick out some girls for you freaks.
Find me a chick with super flexibility.
None of them compelling in the least to make you want to identify with these characters as you play through the story. A huge wasted opportunity. As events unfold, you will be given the choice on whether you want to do Brotherhood missions or X-Men missions. That combined with the way that you equip your character and the powers you choose makes for a very excellent high-level replayability. If you can get past the game's faults. And despite all those faults, I have to admit to you guys that I was able to do this. I had a lot of fun playing through this game. The powers are especially powerful and really jaw-dropping as you get and unlock higher level powers. Like this massive energy beam. There's even a more powerful level above that, man. It makes you feel like a god, like the Phoenix in the X-Men universe. Finally, one thing that the game does extremely well is the boss battles, guys. The boss battles in this game are so impressive. The single best thing in this game. Fight against Magneto as he throws everything he can at you. Or fight against an iconic Sentinel in a multi-part, really creative battle. It's worth a rental alone for these really well done sections. It was also interesting if you're like me and your X-Men knowledge is limited to the cartoon or maybe a few comics. It gives purpose to search for those collectibles around the world so that you can unlock bios that tell you the current state of this character, what they've done in this universe and where they're at in their lives. Like, did you know that Gambit left the X-Men when Xavier died, and now he has pretty much a whole gang and a nightclub? That's pimp.
Why do they wear the masks? To answer question 1, I pay them well, they follow. That's simple. As for the second, I have my reasons. Alas, some things are best left unstated.
You've also learned about the new X-Men that have been introduced in the comics, like supposedly the next most powerful mutant named Pixie?
Don't worry, the X-Men will take care of you. See how Novarum Chinu!
Or this other mental guy?
Caliban feels no remorse for Hodge. He hurt Caliban and stole Pixie.
Yeah, I'm more partial still to Wolverine, but whatever, these new mutants. It was fun and interesting to learn about.
I was minding my own business when that filthy mutant bumped into me. "Excuse me," he says. I excused him, right in his face.
I like your style, Mr. Logan.
The voice acting is excellent, thankfully, because it's really important with iconic characters like these. The soundtrack is solid, and the branching story arc does a good job of keeping you interested and wanting to replay the game from the other angles. Even though there's not a whole lot of change between the stories. It's just a shame that the game has so many missteps and missed opportunities. Maybe another example of a game that just didn't have enough time in development and got cut short of its true potential. That's why the final verdict for X-Men Destiny is a 6 out of 10. I went into this game pissed off. It started off on a really bad foot, but despite that, it slowly started to win me over. With its interesting boss battles, its unique upgrade system, and an interesting, unfamiliar X-Men universe that I wanted to learn more about. Destiny could have been so much more, and at times it does show its brilliance, but when it comes right down to it, fourth down, it fumbles the ball. Especially seeing as how it only clocks in around 5 or 6 hours, forcing you to take that second playthrough to even bring it up to average game length level. A rental at max for all X-Men fans, or wait until a massive price drop. I liked this one about as much as Wolverine Origins, maybe a little bit more. There was more variations, it was slightly less repetitive, and for all those other reasons, the boss battles, the upgrades, it was just more interesting to me. And people thought Wolverine Origins was good, so maybe there is time in your schedule to find this game, rent it, and play it. But me, I'm still waiting for my ultimate X-Men game. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.
My apologies, Joe. There are a number of people here in the danger room. Apparently, Jean Grey has a lot of work to do. She's fucking up my voiceover.